There was once a young boy named Yusuf who loved to learn and explore. He was curious about everything and always asked questions. He wanted to know more about Allah, the Prophet, the Quran, and the world. However, Yusuf also suffered from anxiety. He was afraid of many things, such as the dark, the unknown, the future, and what people thought of him. He often felt nervous, restless, and worried. He had trouble sleeping, eating, and concentrating. He sometimes had panic attacks where he felt like he couldn't breathe, his heart raced, and his body trembled. Yusuf's parents noticed his anxiety and tried to help him. They took him to a doctor who prescribed him some medicine and suggested some therapy. They also encouraged him to pray, read the Quran, and trust in Allah. They told him that Allah is the most merciful, the most compassionate, and the most loving. They said that Allah knows everything, controls everything, and plans everything for the best. They said that Allah tests those whom He loves, and that He never burdens anyone beyond their capacity. They said that Yusuf should be patient, grateful, and hopeful, and that he should seek Allah's help in every situation. Yusuf listened to his parents and tried to follow their advice. He took his medicine, went to therapy, prayed, and read the Quran. He also started to learn more about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who was the best example for all Muslims. He learned that the Prophet also faced many difficulties and challenges in his life, such as losing his parents, being persecuted, being boycotted, being attacked, and being betrayed. He learned that the Prophet, peace be upon him, also felt sad, scared, and anxious at times, but he never gave up or lost faith. He learned that the Prophet, peace be upon him, always turned to Allah for guidance, protection, and comfort. He learned that the Prophet, peace be upon him, always said, Allah is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs. Whenever he faced a hardship, Yusuf was inspired by the Prophet's courage, resilience, and trust in Allah. He decided to follow his example and say the same dua whenever he felt anxious. He also learned other duas and supplications that the Prophet taught, such as Yusuf repeated these duas every day, especially when he felt anxious. He also made deeper remembrance of Allah by saying, He also made salawat, blessings on the Prophet, peace be upon him, by saying, O Allah, send blessings on Muhammad, peace be upon him. Gradually, Yusuf started to feel better. He felt more calm, peaceful, and confident. He felt more connected to Allah, the Prophet, and the Quran. He felt more hopeful, optimistic, and happy. He realized that Allah was always with him, watching over him, supporting him, and loving him. He realized that his anxiety was a test from Allah, and that he could overcome it with Allah's help. He realized that his anxiety was also a blessing from Allah, as it made him closer to Him, more humble, more compassionate, and more grateful. Yusuf thanked Allah for everything and continued to worship Him, obey Him, and love Him. He also thanked his parents, his doctor, and his therapist for their help and support. He also became more friendly, helpful, and kind to others, especially those who were suffering from anxiety or other problems. He shared his story and his tips with them and encouraged them to trust in Allah and follow the Prophet. He became a role model and a leader for his peers, his family, and his community. Yusuf grew up to be a successful, happy, and faithful Muslim. He never forgot his anxiety, but he never let it stop him from achieving his goals and fulfilling his dreams. He always remembered Allah, the Prophet, and the Quran, and he always said, whenever he faced a challenge, he always thanked Allah for everything and asked him for more. He always prayed for himself and for others, and he always hoped for the best in this world and the next.